It is a Monday, July 7th, and you're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr. Hope your weeks are off to a great start, and all of you enjoyed your 4th of July weekends. Coming up here on the show, let's have some fun. Looking ahead to the 2025 season, a couple of weeks ago, I put together a video for why the Washington Commanders could be a dumpster fire in 2025. On today's show, why the Dallas Cowboys will be a dumpster fire during the upcoming 2025 campaign. And Jimmy Kempski of Philly Voice always does this prior to the year, and he puts together 10 reasons why that team will not be good this upcoming season. So we did that with Washington. We highlighted that article. Now we're doing the same with the Dallas Cowboys because a lot of people really enjoyed that video. So shout out to Jimmy Kempski. Check his work out on Philly Voice. Very creative and just an overall really good writer covering the Philadelphia Eagles. And, of course, we have to start off with this. It's Go Birds all day, every day here on this show. But if you also hate the Dallas Cowboys, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and also type F Dallas down in the chat because that's how we roll. So Kempski's number one reason why the Cowboys will be a dumpster fire in 2025, they've become a boring organization. You think back to the 2024 calendar year for Dallas, and it started off in a disastrous way. Jerry Jones promised in January that the Cowboys were going to go all in, only to watch as his team lost key contributors in bulk while adding virtually nothing to the roster. And last year I was talking about this. Jerry Jones said, we're going to go all in. Then they did nothing in free agency. Their biggest additions, bringing in and bringing back a washed Ezekiel Elliott, signing Eric Kendricks, the brother of Michael Kendricks. And I had said that based upon what Jerry said and what the Cowboys were doing, they were secretly rebuilding. And many of the Cowboys' on-field deficiencies, easy to predict, like their rushing offense. We talked about that last week on the show because Saquon Barkley said, yeah, when I hit free agency, Cowboys never reached out. How did you not reach out? Instead, your plan was to just bring back Ezekiel Elliott and then give carries to Rico Dowdle. The Cowboys' rushing defense also wasn't good the year before. It wasn't good in 2024. They didn't have good depth. They had contract squabbles with some of their best players, and they also suffered a bunch of injuries last year. Michael Parsons, Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence, and, of course, Dak Prescott, the highest-paid player in the NFL. And Dallas went all in only to go 7-10. They had a point differential of minus 118. That is terrible. And their Thanksgiving game last year, it was Cooper Rush against Drew Lock. What a horrific matchup there. So the Cowboys last year were not interesting. They've become a boring team, and they haven't made it to an NFC Championship game since, 1995. Number 2 from Kempski, the Cowboys replaced Mike McCarthy with somebody even worse. Brian Schottenheimer is their head coach, for those of you not familiar. And so after parting ways with Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys, I don't know what they were thinking during this process, ladies and gentlemen. They interviewed fewer people for their opening head coaching job than a summer ice cream truck might have for a part-time teenager to work the register. Great way to put it from Kempski there. The Cowboys reportedly only interviewed Kellen Moore, who they didn't really like, who was with their organization a few years ago. Saints hired him, obviously the Eagles OC, Super Bowl champ now. They interviewed Leslie Frazier, Robert Saleh, and Brian Schottenheimer. And they landed on Schottenheimer, and I think one of the reasons is they didn't want to spend that much money at the head coaching spot. Jerry Jones has all this cash. The Cowboys are the number one evaluation if they were to sell their organization. It would go for a record number. But Jerry wants control, and he doesn't want to pay that much money to a head coach. Brian Schottenheimer is making probably the lowest salary for any coach in the National Football League. This was also crazy, too. They Friday news dumped the hiring, meaning they didn't really like it from the jump. They announced it around 8:40 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:40 Eastern on a Friday night, the weekend of the conference championship round of the playoffs between the Eagles and the Commanders. And Jerry Jones said this about Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer is known as a career assistant. He ain't Brian no more. He is now known as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Nope, Jerry, his name is actually still Brian. Him being the head coach of the Cowboys didn't change that. And what's odd, he has 14 years of NFL experience as an offensive coordinator, but has never produced impressive results. He has not had high-ranked or highly graded offenses when he's been an OC. Now, I got to say, when I was at the NFL Combine and I was listening to him talk, I know you don't win or lose a job on a press conference, he sounded pretty good. Sounded as though he knew what he was talking about, what he was doing. But we'll see once the season comes around. I would classify it as an uninspiring hiring for the Dallas Cowboys. Number 3, Dallas got worse in free agency again. Zach Martin, great guard for a long time, retired. 9-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, he's gone. DeMarcus Lawrence, he went to the Seattle Seahawks and then ripped the Cowboys and Micah Parsons on his way out, speaking to the dysfunctional culture that Dallas has. Slot corner Jordan Lewis, been a slot corner with the Cowboys since they selected him in the 3rd round of the 2017 NFL Draft. He's gone. Edge rusher Chauncey Golston. He was the Cowboys' 3rd round pick in 2021. Didn't really do anything up until last year when he had 5.5 sacks. Running back Rico Dowdle. He got 235 carries for more than 1,000 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns as Dallas's lead back in 2024. He also left. Number 4, Cowboys haven't drafted well of late, and this can really set your organization back. Remember when Cowboys fans were saying, Mozzie Smith, going to be better than Jalen Carter? What a joke. Classic delusion from Cowboys fans. Their 2023 draft was headlined by Mozzie Smith. 2nd round, Luke Schoonmaker. DeMarvion Overshown. Viliami Fehoko. Asim Richards. Eric Scott. Deuce Vaughn. Jalen Brooks. Not a good draft class. Their 2024 draft. Tyler Guyton. Marshawn Nealand. Cooper Beebe. Marist Uafu. Kalen Carson. Ryan Florney. Nathan Thomas. Justin Rogers. You're not getting a lot from those last 2 draft classes. We'll see. Obviously, the jury is out for 2025. But again, this is a Cowboys team with not a lot of depth, not a lot of overall talent. Missing in the draft does not help that. Number 5, 2 of their best defenders are coming off injuries. In January, cornerback Trayvon Diggs had a chondral tissue graft procedure on his left knee. Also tore an ACL in that same knee in 2023. Had a huge year in 2021. 11 picks, 2 pick sixes. Hasn't been the same player since because of injuries and him being inconsistent. When he comes back, what does he look like? And then player number 2, this is a player who popped against the Eagles last year, and he was having a really good season. That's linebacker DeMarvion Overshown. Shredded his right knee, tearing his ACL, PCL, and MCL. If you want to be optimistic about when his return is going to be, maybe at some point in November, but he also tore an ACL in his left knee, which cost him his entire rookie season in 2023. We have 5 more reasons why the Dallas Cowboys will be a dumpster fire in 2025. But first, be sure to hit that subscribe button for the best, most elite Eagles coverage right here on YouTube. It's the deadest stretch of the NFL offseason. We are still giving you fantastic content. Our sponsor for today's show, our friends at Ridge. I've been using my Ridge wallet over the last couple of weeks. I absolutely love it, especially now that it's summertime, which means shorts weather. I hate having bulky shorts or too much in my pockets. Look at this. I have all my cards in the Ridge wallet, and it's still about as wide as the iPhone. The width of this is fantastic. And I also like its sleek design. It's very modern. It's also very durable. And sometimes when you have that massive, clunky wallet, it's just a giant, crusty leather brick. And mine was falling apart. So I got this Ridge wallet, unique, slim, modern design. It holds up to 12 cards plus cash. It's made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. We've been showing you a couple of different looks and colors, including that Philadelphia Eagles Ridge wallet. Ridge has over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from, and all Ridge products have a lifetime warranty. It's literally the last wallet that you'll ever buy because it's going to last forever, and it has over 100,000 5-star reviews. We all know that losing your wallet can be the worst, but with the Ridge AirTag attachment, you'll always know exactly where it is before panic mode kicks in. And Ridge isn't just about wallets. They create premium everyday essentials like key cases, suitcases, and rings, all built with the same sleek and durable design. For a limited time, our listeners, our viewers, get 10% off at Ridge by using the code CHAT at checkout. Just head to ridge.com/chat, use that code CHAT, and you're all set. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that Philadelphia Eagles Now Chase Sr. and Chat Sports sent you. Reason number 6 why the Cowboys will be a dumpster fire. They have bad offensive line play, and they have bad offensive tackle play. This Eagles offensive line has an opportunity in the 2 matchups against the Cowboys to really dominate their front. Tyler Guyton at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Cooper Beebe at center, Tyler Booker, the first-round pick at right guard, and then Terrence Steele is the right tackle. I'd say along that offensive line, Tyler Smith is a very good player, and he's the one sure thing along that offensive line. Beebe had a decent rookie year starting at center. He played primarily at guard in college, and so you have to imagine he could improve, but he's another relative unknown. Booker was the Cowboys' first-round pick out of Alabama. I like his mentality, how nasty he is. He has good size at 6'5", 321, 34.5-inch arms, gigantic hands, but he doesn't move well at all. His 40-yard dash was slow. His athletic testing in the pre-draft was not good. And some Cowboys fans have said the Cowboys drafted Tyler Booker to be the Jalen Carter stopper. Jalen Carter fared very well against him in those Georgia-Alabama games. And at right tackle, Terrence Steele signed a 5-year deal worth $82.5 million during the 2023 offseason after a very good 2022, but he's been a below-average starter since then. He's allowed 17 sacks over the last 2 years. Not good. And at left tackle, Guyton, a former first-round pick out of Oklahoma, finished second in the NFL with 18 penalties. Pro Football Focus had him down for 6 sacks in 2024. He got benched multiple times during the year. So you'd really take a lot of other offensive tackle tandem across the NFL over Guyton and Terrence Steele. Number 7, the Cowboys' run game could stink. Bad offensive line play combined with their running back tandem is Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders had a career year for Philadelphia in 2022. He was awful with the Carolina Panthers the last 2 years after he got a little bit of a bag. And over the last 2 years, Sanders and Williams have combined for a grand total of 3.6 yards per carry. Now, the Cowboys in the 5th round did draft Jaden Blue out of Texas. He's got 4.3 speed, very quick. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a home run hitter. But in the pre-draft process, we talked about him a lot because he had 214 career carries, had 7 fumbles, including 5 in 2024. So he coughs it up a lot. Number 8, the Cowboys' run defense was horrible last year. It could be horrible in 2025 as well. Rushing yards allowed per game for Dallas, 137.1. That ranked 29th. Rushing first downs allowed per game, 8.3. That was 31st. Rushing touchdowns allowed, 25. That was 32nd, dead last. Yards per rush allowed, 4.8. That was 28th. And rushing DVOA, they were 29th. Now, for Dallas, they did hire Matt Eberflus, but those Bears defenses last year under Eberflus and throughout his tenure with Chicago, when he was the head coach, they weren't good. His Bears defense last year finished 31st in run defense DVOA. In 2024, the Cowboys gained 1,705 yards on the ground. They gave up 2,331. That is a rushing yard differential of minus 626. When that's the case, you're not going to win a lot of games. Number 9, the Cowboys did not learn from the Dak Prescott and CD Lamb contract extension sagas. Just before the start of the year last year, the Cowboys gave Dak $240 million over 4 years, $60 million per year, made him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. A title that he still holds, by the way. They didn't need to give him that big of a contract. They didn't need to give him a deal at all. This is a guy who's won 2 playoff games in his entire career. There are question marks around Dak. He's been injured. He's been bad a couple of times over the last few years. Why would you give him that big of a contract when you have concerns about the player as far as high-level success, consistency, and durability? Yet the Cowboys caved and made him the richest player in the history of the National Football League. Crazy. And that number's going to hold until probably next offseason when one of these young quarterbacks gets a new contract, like, let's say, C.J. Stroud, or if Lamar Jackson signs an updated deal, because right now his contract is a little bit low. It's nuts. And then in a similar light, C.D. Lamb was in line for a new deal, but Justin Jefferson signed a new contract first for $35 million per year on a 4-year deal. And like Prescott, Lamb signed just before the start of the year on a 4-year deal worth $34 million per year. So the Cowboys could have gotten Dak for less or had him play out the last year of his deal, and then you could have got him at much less because he was injured. Same thing with C.D. Lamb. When you wait to sign players to contract extensions, you run the risk of those deals going up. That's why Howie Roseman always signs his players to deals early. This year, Micah Parsons is in line for a new deal. Same story, right? Max Crosby got $35.5 million per year. Myles Garrett got $40 million per year. T.J. Watt could get 40 plus. Micah Parsons might go to the negotiating table and say, Jerry, I want more than all of those players. His age, a big reason for that, and how good of a player he's been. When you wait, you can cost yourselves a lot of money. Could be happening again to Jerry Jones and Dallas. And then lastly, Dak wasn't good last year before his injury. The year before that, 2023, he was pretty solid. Nothing to show for as far as playoff success, of course. But Dak last year, before his injury, wasn't really that good. And isn't this kind of crazy? A list of projected starting quarterbacks heading into 2025 who are older than Dak. Only Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, and Joe Flacco if he starts for Cleveland. Dak is also coming off arguably the worst year of his career. Had career lows in quarterback rating, 86, QBR, 45.3. He was 3-5 before he was shut down for the year with the hamstring injury. He also had 8 picks in under 8 full games. Who's to say that Dak is going to bounce back? Because the team around him isn't all that great. Although, C.D. Lamb, George Pickens, a much better 1-2 punch at that wide receiver spot. But as far as depth and high-level talent goes across the roster, I don't think the Cowboys are that good. And they have a huge question mark at head coach. 10 reasons why the Cowboys could be a dumpster fire. Great work, as always, by Jimmy Kemsky. Real One Roll Call. If you're still hanging out here with us, I want you to type Go Birds down in the chat and be on the lookout later because the content's going to continue to come out.